you mentioned it before about, how you were kind of like hard on guys. I've always respected people who were straightforward, straight to the point with it. Why do you think that, whether it was players or coaches, why do you think people were probably rubbed the wrong way? And where did that come from you to just tell the truth and you saw it how it was?
Well, again, I'm telling it like I see it, but I felt when I started writing that I had to set a standard for myself, and the standard is that I wanted to be entertaining, I wanted to be enlightening, and I wanted to be honest, and I didn't care if I hurt the feelings of the number one guy on the team, or the 12th guy on the team, or the third assistant, or the head coach, or the GM, or whatever. I was going to write what I felt. And I think that helped me a lot, because I think the majority of people that I covered, couldn't wait to read what I wrote. Were sorry when they saw their name in my column. But once they got past that, they liked the rest of the column. so I think it helped me that I was willing to take on anybody and everybody for the right reason, I felt. And so when you say, there are a lot of people that feel that were rubbed the wrong way, I don't believe that's true. I believe over the years, many of the people that I was at odds with became some of my best friends and best supporters. And I almost got in fights with Del Harris, Pat Riley, Mark Jackson, Spencer Haywood. Many guys almost got in fights with them, and the only guy I backed up from was Spencer Haywood when he ran at me in the Nick tunnel. He was 6'9". He's still 6'9". He was on the Zoom today too, but he came after me. But I didn't back off those guys, and those guys became, to this day, that I love Riley, I love Mark Jackson, I love Del Harris, Spencer. I don't know, but we're okay. We're good. I mean, we were good on the phone today. So, it's funny. There are only a few guys over the years that I could say to this day, we loathe each other.
Right.
I think it's very important what you said is that, and I think it's a learning lesson for the youth of anybody. I'll say, speak your truth. If you could just speak your truth, and don't worry about how they judge you, then you're okay. Because that's what's real for you. What you feel and what you express, why should I belittle it? Because it doesn't go along to what I feel. But if you're
Right.
speaking from an honest place, this is what I feel.
Right.
Then as a human being, that's how we can get along. Because I would say I love people who are blunt and straight to the point, because I'll say, I know where they stand. So if I choose to be in a relationship with you, I know exactly where you stand. I don't like all the fluff that, you're saying, yeah, you're great. And the next person, you're knifing them in the back.
Right. That is correct. And I think that's definitely worked for me. Again, as a columnist, you're supposed to take a position. The hardest columns I ever wrote were ones where I listened to both sides too much. Now what? now I'm stuck in the middle, clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, and I had to write about it. But I for the most part, I think another key to writing a column is you better have the facts correct. My one and only column that I ever wrote for the Daily News, I had something loud wrong. So loud wrong that I got sued. The paper got sued, and I wound up never having another column with the Daily News. And I have that. I have it right over here. I kept that column because it taught me a lot. I took the information from the commissioner of the ABA at the time. I'm not going to be able to remember his name, but he led me astray on purpose, because he had a vendetta against the agent who I was writing about, a guy named Erwin Weiner. who was Julius Erving's agent. He was Frazier's agent. A lot of guys he had. And the key guy in this situation was George McGinn. And he told me stuff about what went on with their contract, negotiations, whatever. 100% wrong.
Wow.
So I should have gone further. And I was good with Weiner. I could have called him and asked him about it. Did not do it. So the truth is, I should have been fired for it. I wasn't fired, but I kept writing, but I never wrote another column for them, for the news. And then all Weiner wanted was a retraction. They sued me at a big law firm. I still have the papers. He gave me the papers that I kept just to remind me. And they wanted the retraction. I gave the retraction. I don't think you might be the first show I'm discussing this with ever. I don't think anybody knew that I had gotten it wrong and had to issue a retraction. Different days. We're talking different days. This was like 1975 or so. You know, it's so totally different. And so on the paper, on the lawsuit paper, Irwin wrote, "I still love you anyway, Peter."
I love it. That's great.
I had to save that one, you know. But I never, you know, I've been sued a couple times since with the Daily News, with the Post, and the Post won one of them, and that one really went a long way actually, and then the other one, I believe they actually paid the guy some money, but absolutely he did not deserve a dime. He totally lied about something that he wrote. And I called him out on it, and you know, the desk probably should not have allowed it to go through, but it did, and you know, it was a menial money that they settled, but you could consider it a loss for the paper, loss for me. So I'm 1-2 in lawsuits.
Well, that's never exciting to get, you know, to be involved in that stuff, but it's always, I guess, good that people can remain friends, and you know, Weiner can send you that note on that paper through everything you went through. He can still, you know, make fun of it, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's true. We had our differences, but you know, in the days that were after that, you know, years afterward, he would have me up to his house in Westchester, dinner and stuff, and he and his wife died early from Alzheimer's stuff. Pretty sad, but he was a big wheel. Irwin Weiner, Dr. I, they called him, and he was the one that coordinated the holdout of Julius Erving from the Nets, and then when he was, you know, sold, not traded, sold to Philadelphia. You know, he was in back of all that and many other big deals.
Okay, all right.